So what I was saying was that in Repulse the Monkey, and because I don't watch y'all, y'all may or may not be doing this, and if you're not doing it, fine, but it was a good reminder for me because I purposely watched, and what they were doing was, okay, so when you brush to the back, and when you go back to the front, you go back in the same direction that you came from. You don't go in a circle. And so that's what they were doing. A couple of them were doing. I think one did it and another one followed that one. I think that's what was happening. And but anyway, we're going to pick that. We'll pick that up and intentionally talk about the pieces and parts of Repulse the Monkey just as a good reminder. And I found, maybe a different way to say it and to say what's going on that may click with you better than other times. Because, I have, and I'm going to start opening and closing, but, and getting warmed up. But I have less experience teaching part 2 in person and virtually, just because very few people get to that place. So, I find different ways to talk about it and teach it. And so it's a learning process for me as well. And how to describe it. Y'all are true heroes. And amazing to me that y'all can learn virtually. There's an extra layer of challenge to it because of, either the size of the screen or the lighting. So there's, so many other factors that go into it. All right, we need music. Music makes the world go round. Home. Y'all, Spotify went up to, I pay for 2 accounts, like for me and Blake to share an account. Spotify went up to $18.99 for 2 people a month.
Oh, wow.
I think that's outrageous. It started off as $11.99 a month. Then it went up to $14.99 a month. Now it's going to $18.99 a month. What do you do about this? Do you just suck it up and go, well, I guess if I want it, that's what I'm going to pay? Or do you call them and say, that's not nice?
Yeah. I think I would be on the phone.
I think I'm going to call them and tell them that's not nice because I really love Spotify, but dang. All right. Stable stance. I'm getting rid of any tension that I may be holding on to. Just kind of scanning through my body and making sure that I'm not holding tension anywhere. Hips, shoulders, neck, jaws, all my kind of typical places that I do hold tension. So letting that go and starting our warm-ups with our neck, bringing our hands up. Breathing, making sure my pace is slow, smooth, and continuous. I got on cushioned tennis shoes this morning, and the other day, I was saying, ooh, I like, Gwen, you were on Tuesday's class, but on Tuesday's class, I wore my flat, like, ballet shoes, and while I was doing Tai Chi, I thought, and I said it out loud, ooh, I have on these good flat shoes, and doing Tai Chi in flat shoes feels better for me. And I can do it in tennis shoes, but I do notice all the cushion in these tennis shoes and how disconnected I feel from the floor. And I'm stable. I'm not in any way feeling like I'm going to fall. It's just a different feeling. So I don't know if y'all have that experience with shoe choice. I like a flat shoe anyway. Roll our shoulders. I keep thinking about going to the club with my camo dress on. Oh shoot, I gotta let it go. I gotta get my sillies out. Yesterday I was in jury duty, and they were telling a case, and they were saying that out here at the nuclear plant, this isn't the case, but it was just something that they said at the nuclear plant. If you fall asleep while you're on the clock, you're immediately fired. Well, I don't know why that tickled me, but I thought that was funny. You're fired. Fired. Well, I kind of chuckled, and this girl was like, "It is the largest nuclear plant in the world," or something, and we need people that work there to be alert and attentive. You know, we don't need anything going wrong with the with the nuclear plant. And I was like, well, I'm not arguing that. It just, never mind. But I get tickled about a lot of things. So told my husband about it. I was like, I think people need to find a little bit of laughter in their life. All right, I said I was getting serious. For our spine. An easy topic to transition serious to is the weather. I don't know if y'all saw, but we're going to be in 70s next week. So that will feel good. Feel good to the body and joints. All right, side to side. For our hips. Checking my posture, making sure I'm continuing to breathe. It's just like a running log of all of our principles as I do Tai Chi, just to remind myself to be aware of my body and how I hold my body. And when we do that in Tai Chi class, and then it bleeds over to any time when we're sitting or out and about and walking, we're aware of how we hold our bodies, and we set ourselves up for less chance of falls. But my main thing is holding tension in places. because I know if I hold tension in places, it can translate to pain or more stiffness. And so just kind of try to get ahead of that. But it all starts with body awareness. And y'all probably notice more things because of Tai Chi. For our knees. See that little bit of a wobble with that cushion, and I put that toe down. Let's step out, shift weight forward. Thought that just went through my head is making sure that my fists were loose, that I hadn't clenched my fist too tightly. It just takes a second to just think about all the pieces and parts of your body. For our ankles, heel toe. And side to side, big toe, little toe. Little toe, big toe. All right. We're going to go through our part 1 movements. We'll do 2 times this time. That way we can dive into our part 2 sooner. But that just helps us get in that Tai Chi mode, and it builds our confidence because it's something that we know and very familiar with. Get ourselves in a stable stance, reminding ourselves of our principles. Empty steps before the weight transfer. Upright posture and breathing. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Advance 6. Brush knee. Play the loop. Hairy punch. Front pocket. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. One more time. Feel ourselves settling down and getting in that Tai Chi zone. Let's do it again before we move to part 2. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. I think I did an extra set. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. All right. Moving on to part 2. Starting with our familiar brush knee to the right. Leisurely tie the coat. Step back, karate chop, shift, follow step 3 fingers, zip it up. Step right, shift and offer, follow step left, step back left, shift, Bring that pie around. Shift as you deliver. Follow step left to the front. Step, shift, and step. Hands face, open, and close. Step back, single whip. Shift right. Step back left. Push as I adjust that weight. Turn and separate. Eyes follow the right hand. Fist under elbow. Shift left, turn right. Shift right, turn left. Step left, shift, follow step right. Fist under elbow. Repulse the monkey. Step out, lay hands. Shift right, separate, prepare. Step left to the back and brush. Follow step right. Now we're going to go all the way to the front. We step back right to give us space to work with. Shift right. Let's lay our hands. Bring that left foot around. Shift, bring that right foot around. Step right to the front. Shift right as I brush. Follow step left. Step left, lay hands. Brush to the left. Follow step right. Leisurely tie the coat. Step back right. Karate chop left. Shift. Follow step 3 fingers. Zip it up. Step left. Shift and offer. Follow step right. Step back right. Shift. Bring that pie around. Shift as I deliver. Follow step right to the front. Step, shift, step, hands face, open, and close. Close it out. So that's all of our movements done one way, and then we unwind it. It's like we wind it and then we unwind it. All right. Specifically about repulse the monkey. So it's a challenging move because we're doing a 360-degree move. Essentially, it's brush knees. Well, we know in brush knee that we turn that foot in, we lay our hands, we separate, and then we brush, with a step and a follow step. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing in repulse the monkey. Brushing to the back, and then coming and brushing all the way to the front, and then brushing to the left. So we know essentially that's what we're doing. It's just different. Our feet are different. So we're coming from fist under elbow. We step out and lay our hands. And when we step out, the hands kind of lay to the side. When we do a regular brush knee, it's out front. But when we step out to begin repulse the monkey, we step out and lay our hands to the side. And then when we separate prepare, we bring that left foot, left hand back, just like we do on brush knee. This next part feels very familiar, except our step is really big because it's to the back. And then we brush, just like brush knee. We shift to that foot as we brush it. And then follow step left. So that feels familiar. When we do these brush knees, all right, so here. Well, we know that we're going to switch hands. We're not going to keep brushing with this hand, so we know that this hand is next. We're not going to go this way. That just feels wrong. I hope it feels wrong to y'all. But that's what I was saying is they were going back, and then to go all the way to the front, they were switching and then walking this way. But that feels like you're fighting yourself. So yes, we know we're going to switch. Look, our palm tells us that way. So we're brushing that way. And then whenever we get to going to the left, we swap our hands again. Where's our palm tell us to go? Our palm tells us the direction. So when we laid hands, our palm is here, we're going back. We switch hands. Where's our palm going? Front. We switch hands. Where's our palm facing? So we don't go the direction of the back of our hand. We go in the direction of our palm. So that can be helpful. We know we're switching, so we switch before we do that brush. We know we're switching before we do that brush. Footwork. So I think that was helpful to talk about that because we're going in that 360-degree circle. I guess the number wasn't necessary. Because we're going in a circle and you can't always see the screen or the video because we are going to the back, so you're not facing me anymore. So whenever I say, and go all the way to the front, you might think, I get there any which way I can, and it felt right to finish the circle. But that's just a good reminder, is that we go back in the direction that we came when we go back to the front, and then we go to the left. So maybe that's helpful for you. Maybe you were already doing the right thing. Footwork. So the footwork is tricky because we're doing these pivots. You know, we do a pivot in brush knee where we turn that right toe in, we shift. So when we turn that toe in, that's pivoting on that heel. So there's no weight there. It's just attached to the floor. So that's our first experience with pivots. Then when we have fist under elbow, we're coming from a step back single whip. We shift, pivot, pivot, step, shift, follow step. So there's some pivots going on. I'm feeling this right now. These tennis shoes are grabbing this carpet. So if you have on shoes that grab your flooring, that pivot you may really be having a hard time with it. And that can cause falls if your shoes are too grippy to the floor. This is carpet. So pivots in fist under elbow. Pivot on the heel, shift, pivot on the ball of the foot. So when we do brush knee, there's more pivots. We step back, we pivot on the heel to turn our toe towards the front. We shift to the left and we pivot on the right ball. Now we're ready to step to the front. Step, shift, follow step, and then to the left, step, shift, follow step. It really takes some mobility in our ankles, doesn't it, to do these pivots and this repulse the monkey. If you have a hard time with those pivots, or if the shoes you currently have on aren't allowing you to pivot, remember you always have permission to modify by kind of mini stepping. Step, step, shuffle your way to the front. The main thing is to be safe, okay? So acknowledge the pivots and the fact that with these pivots you're kind of light on your feet. You pivot and then shift and pivot and step, shift, follow step, step, shift, follow step. You're very light on your feet in the repulse the monkey. It almost feels like you're floating. So let's go back to the end of fist under elbow after we say all that and practice it. This is the end of step back single whip. Fist under elbow just to practice those pivots. Shift left, pivot right on that heel. Shift right, pivot left on the ball. Step left, shift, follow step right. Now we're ready for a repulse the monkey. Step out, lay hands. Shift. I think I stepped way too far. Separate and prepare. Step to the back. Shift as I brush. Follow step right. Now we want to go all the way back to the front. We got to switch our hands. Switch our hands as we step back to give us more room. Shift, pivot left as I make my way to the front. Shift, pivot right. Step right. Shift as I finish the brush. Follow step left, now to the left. Step, lay hands. Shift, brush, follow step. Is that coming together for y'all?
Yeah, it's kind of coming together.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anything I said helped, because maybe I tried to say it a little bit differently, and after I started talking, I'm like, is that what I said on Wednesday? We're going to revisit it again on Wednesday and really get the smoothness of that movement down pat. But if you just think about your upper body work, you're here, separate, brush. You're here, separate, brush. You're here, separate, brush. So it's 3 of those in a row. You know you're laying your hands. You know you lay that hand out and the other hand comes over that elbow. You know you separate and then this hand comes up and pushes. Now you got to switch and do it with the other hand. Lay hands, protect elbow, separate, and brush. And then lay hands, separate, brush. So if you just practice what that feels like, here, separate, brush. Here, separate, brush. Here, separate, brush. So that's 3 times we do that in Repulse the Monkey. A little bit of a variation because, like I said, the first time we lay it out to the side and brush to the back. When I prepare to go back to the front, I'm noticing where my hand placement is. And it's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's not out to the side. It's not directly out front. And I'm wondering, I wonder what see here, separate, brush to the front. And then whenever I get ready to brush to the left, it's kind of that same way. It's kind of in the middle. It's not out to the side. It's not out to the front. Here. We just want that smooth, kind of circular motion as we move through brush knee. So if you get a chance, practice that switch, separate, brush, switch, separate, brush, switch, separate, brush. If you get a chance to just practice the movement of your hands to get it more and more smooth. Sometimes we'll practice the top part and get, feeling good about that. Practice the bottom part, feeling good about that.
So I'm comfortable with the shifts. It's just that second brush, when we brush here and it's coming back here, which I get my hand confused as to which to lay to come here.
Gotcha. Well, maybe it helps to just know that you're switching, and we're grateful we only have 2 hands. If we have more than 2, if we know this hand just brushed, then we know the other hand's going to brush next. So we brush to the back, and we're going to go to the front. Well, this hand just had a turn. You just had a turn. It's my turn. I want to brush. Brush that one to the front. Now this one says, it's my turn. And then brush it to the right. So thinking about when you finish the brush, all right, now it's time to switch and let that one brush. Now it's time to switch, let that one brush. So, because we only have 2 hands, that may be helpful.
That clicked in.
Huh?
That clicked in.
Yes. Well, like I said, I don't know that I've ever thought about talking about switching, with, from, I had my turn, now it's the other hand's turn. I've just talked about brush, lay hands, brush, separate. I've said that, but never really said the switch. So if that switch helps, then yay. Because that, what bothered me is that I think people were here, they brushed to the back, and they just went to the front. I don't know that they switched their hands. I think they just continued the brush with the same hand and went in that circle. I think. So that would feel right, because you would be going in the direction of your palm. But like I said, I wasn't studying them and judging them, but I definitely wanted to get that right. I'm not so much worried about feet, because I want you to be safe. And if those pivots don't feel safe to you, I want you to step, shuffle to the front. And, maybe later try those pivots. But if you have unky knees, and I have bad knees some weeks, some weeks my knees just bother me. This one for sure, it's my Osgood Slaughter knee. But that coming all the way around in those pivots, right, that step right there sometimes will feel bad on my knee. So if you just need to shuffle to keep yourself from causing that joint pain, that's more important than making sure you get the pivots. But I want you to realize in part 2 that we do pivots. When we do brush knee, there's that little easy pivot, that small pivot. It's our direction foot saying we're going that way. And then fist under elbow, shift, pivot is how we get going in a different direction, pivoted on a foot. Or else we're stuck back here, a foot facing the back, and we're in a pickle to get ourselves all the way to the front. We need to get some angles going so that we can properly get to the front without really causing ourselves some pain. Body awareness, listen to your body and what it needs, and we'll get it put together. So let's do our part 2 one more time now that we've talked about that in that one direction. And if y'all are okay with it, next week we'll start working on the other direction. Because, we wanted to kind of live here and make sure we felt good here. The other moves are exactly the same. They're just opposite direction. Alright, so starting with brush knee to the right. See, that feels like leisurely that feels like Repulse the Monkey, doesn't it? Where we brush. So that's why I say it's like brush knee. Leisurely tie the coat, step back, shift, follow step, zip it up, step, shift and offer, follow step, step back, shift, bring it around, shift, deliver, follow step to the front, open, close, step back, single whip. Alright, here's our pivots. Shift, pivot, shift, pivot, step, shift, follow step. Repulse the monkey. Step out, separate, step, brush to the back, follow step. Step back, lay hands, separate, and brush to the front. step, lay hands, separate and brush to the left. Leisurely tie the coat. Step back, karate chop. Shift, follow step, 3 fingers, zip it up. Step, shift and offer, follow step, come back, bring it around, shift, deliver, follow step to the front, open, close, and close it out. So then we will do all of this all over again. Brush knee to the left, leisurely tie the coat to the left. But one more time from the end of step back, single whip. Let's do fist under elbow and repulse the monkey. So we've ended here. We got weight on both feet. We shift left, pivot on the right. That right hand comes to our hip. Shift right, pivot on the left. And that palm just went with the body. So now it's facing the left wall. We step left, shift, and when we follow step right, we turn our hand and our fist goes in the plane of under the elbow. Repulse the monkey, step out, lay hands, shift, separate, and step, brush back, brush to the back, follow step, step back, switch, come all the way to the front, follow step, switch, and brush to the left. I'll get this wording down to be helpful. But we have something to work with now, right? To get us in that direction. Any other questions or anything you want to go over today? Because it's 10 o'clock. Let's give ourselves a good fist massage. But if y'all need me between now and then, just let me know. I'm in the office on Tuesdays. I have my virtual classes, but I can make time in between those classes or after if you need to go over anything. Just text me if you're just stuck and need help. But if not, we'll get back to it next Friday and work on going the other direction. That clears makes so much noise. All right. Gather and release. Gather and release. Feels good to release tension. Make that habit of scanning and finding it and letting it go. Inhale. Exhale. Even in our cool downs, we're slow, smooth, and continuous. We have our right fist representing our strength, our fingers together, our friendship, our thumb in our humility. We put those together in mutual respect. Namaste. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for being patient with me as I figure out how to best teach it and teach it in a different way so we can go, oh, yeah, I like that. I like how you said that. I'm humbled to know that I have a lot to learn always. So y'all have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone.
All right. Love y'all.
All right. See you next week.
Okay. Bye. Y'all stay well.
Yeah, y'all too.
I demand you.
Stay on the ground.
Yeah, stay on. Bye.